Yo, what up? It's your guy Shaheen, aka Moolah Gang Entertainment, aka Moolah Gang Enlightenment. So, Nolan Will's mother, Christine, did an interview with Channel 16 WAPT News channel yesterday, and I do believe that's out of Jackson, Mississippi. Well, it was interesting what she had to say when she was in a panic in the conversation between her and Warren when she got the phone call from Warren about Nolan being missing. Let's listen to what she has to say.
And to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind and I'm going to stay here with this girl that I just met. So I'm on the phone with him. Now I'm in a panic. I'm running into my room. Elmore was in bed watching a different movie, and I'm like frantic. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, Nolan is missing. I'm trying to pull up the GPS as I'm talking to him. And at some point, he tells me that, I was like, well, his phone says GPS Life 360, not Snapchat.
Right.
Life 360 says that he's on land. And he was like, well, no, I mean, well, we have his phone. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, okay. Because at that point, you're telling me, this is coming from Warren, don't worry about it. We're going to find him. It's going to be okay. Don't tell me not to worry. This is my child, my flesh and blood that I brought into this world. And you're telling me not to worry. Absolutely not. So then it was after the phone call ended, of course, asking him for information. What was he wearing? He was like, last seen, Northwest tip, black shorts, sunglasses. That's important. So I end up calling DMR, spoke with the DMR. She took all
Just for our audience, DMR.
So DMR is because he went missing on the island. They are basically the marine people, right? They're the ones who's going to launch the boats to go into the water and all that. But before getting off the phone with Warren, he was like, hey, I know some people at Coast Guard. I said, okay. He's like, I'm going to call Coast Guard, you call DMR. Get on the phone with DMR. I give the young lady the information. And she tells me, hey, I got this. Let me call you back. Because she was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be in our jurisdiction, essentially. So then she calls back and she tells me, okay, yeah, we spoke with Coast Guard. And I'm like, okay. But they're like, this isn't our jurisdiction. You have to contact the city of Ocean Springs. I said, okay, hang up the phone, call in Ocean Springs Police Department. They say, hey, you have to physically come down and give a report. I said, okay. So on our way, because we don't live that far from the police station, on our way there, I was like, well, let me stop by the hospital, because there's a hospital that's maybe 5 minutes up the road from our house. Stop by there. I'm like, hey.
Notice how Warren said, have you seen or heard from Nolan? That's kind of a suspicious question to ask someone when you don't know where they are, I would have been more like, where's Nolan? Can I talk to Nolan? With me not being aware of where he is. And then for him to say, I have people in the Coast Guard, that's a key factor right there.
Like, hey, have you guys seen this kid? Has he been brought
Thanks for
in?
watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Moolah Gang Entertainment.
The lady's like,
AKA
no.
Moolah Gang Enlightenment. I'm Shaheen. Over and out.